Hey, good morning, y'all. What a beautiful day it is to be a child of God. And who didn't know that? Y'all, this weekend I did a little bit of shopping. I ran across a gentleman who seemed very troubled. And the word tells us that we are to be the light in other people's dark places. We are the salt. We are to draw the goodness out of people. I gave him some words of encouragement, and I want to do the same for you. Hey, y'all, we're in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to gain and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Y'all, it is a time and place for everything, right? There's also a season for everything. There's a story in the Bible of how Jesus had just fasted 40 days and 40 nights, and here come this snake, Satan. Dirty, knowing he was at his most vulnerable state. He tempted him in all points, but guess what? Jesus was still without sin. He told him, you can have this, and you do this, and woo, 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 right? And Jesus said, get thee behind me, Satan. Right? So it doesn't matter. And the cold part is that Jesus was filled and led by the Spirit. So it don't matter who you are. Satan will still try to tempt you, still attack you. And guess what the Bible says at the end? Luke chapter 4. He said he departed for a season. So there's a season that he's going to come and bother you, a season that you'll be doing just fine, right? And during those times that we feel or we're going through, we feel that God doesn't hear us, right? But he does. Remember that Jesus said he'll never leave us or forsake us, right? So we have to remember that during those times that we're going through, that's depression, the anxiety, the trials, the tribulations, the pain, the sorrow, right? That we keep a praise in our mouth. Remember that God inhabits the praises of his people. And y'all, the last thing that I want to tell you, and I hope this encourages you, I know that while you're going through these things, it seems like a lengthy time. But when you look back and see how God brought you through, you definitely want to shout. But shout while you're going through, because guess what? Trouble don't last always. I hope y'all have a blessed day.